In an era where air superiority often determines the outcome of modern conflicts, advanced air defense systems have become prized assets for nations seeking to secure their skies. Among these, Russia's S-400 Triumph stands out as a technological marvel, capable of neutralizing a wide array of aerial threats. For India, which has deployed this system to counter potential challenges from both China and Pakistan, the S-400 represents a cornerstone of its defense strategy. Yet, a speculative scenario has recently emerged, raising eyebrows among defense analysts. Could China, a fellow operator of the S-400 and a close ally of Pakistan, share critical information about this system with Islamabad? There are no such evidence supports this speculation, but the mere possibility highlights any possibility. The Russian S-400 Triumph is a mobile surface-to-air missile system designed to detect, track, and destroy a variety of aerial targets, including fighter jets, strategic bombers, cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, and drones. With a maximum engagement range of approximately 380 kilometers and the ability to simultaneously track up to 80 targets, the system is among the most advanced of its kind. Its radar, capable of detecting stealth aircraft at significant distances, and its layered missile options, ranging from short-range 40N6 missiles to long-range interceptors, make it a versatile tool for air defense. India signed a $5.43 billion contract with Russia in 2018 to acquire 5 S-400 squadrons, with the first 3 delivered and deployed by 2023 along its borders with China and Pakistan. The Indian Air Force has positioned these systems to protect key strategic areas, including the contested line of actual control with China and the volatile line of control with Pakistan. However, delays in delivering the final 2 squadrons, now expected by 2026 due to Russia's ongoing conflict in Ukraine, have underscored the challenges of relying on foreign suppliers for critical defense equipment. USA then rejected this deal and threatened New Delhi not to sign this deal but not offer any alternative defense system. USA also pressurized India by delaying of payments on International Clearinghouse to slow down missiles delivery, payment required by Russians urgently due to crunch of foreign exchange. The notion that China might share details of the S-400 with Pakistan stems from the deepening military and strategic partnership between Beijing and Islamabad. China has emerged as Pakistan's primary arms supplier, accounting for 81% of Pakistan's arms imports between 2020 and 2024, according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, SIPRI. This includes advanced systems like J-10CE fighter jets and HQ-9 missile defense systems, which have bolstered Pakistan's military capabilities. Given that China also operates the S-400, acquired from Russia in a 2014 deal worth $3 billion, some analysts speculate that Beijing could theoretically provide Pakistan with insights into the system's radar frequencies, engagement protocols, or vulnerabilities. Such information could enable Pakistan to develop countermeasures, such as electronic jamming techniques or hypersonic missiles like the Chinese DF-17, which some reports suggest Pakistan is seeking to counter India's S-400. Yet, this scenario remains purely hypothetical, as no credible evidence suggests China has shared or intends to share such sensitive data. To understand the S-400's significance, it's worth examining its technical prowess and strategic role. The system's 91N6E radar can detect targets at ranges up to 600 kilometers, providing early warning against incoming threats. Its missiles, including the 48N6DM with a 250 km range and the 40N6E with a 380 km range, allow it to engage targets at varying altitudes. The S-400's ability to integrate with other air defense systems, such as India's indigenous Akash or Israeli Barak-8, enhances its effectiveness, creating a layered defense network. Compared to systems like the US-made Patriot PAC-3, which has a shorter engagement range of about 160 kilometers, or China's HQ-9, which reaches up to 200 kilometers, the S-400 offers superior range and flexibility. However, its complexity requires highly trained operators and robust logistical support, a challenge India has faced as it integrates the system into its air defense architecture. Historically, the S-400 has not seen extensive combat use, but its deployment by Russia in Syria since 2015 demonstrated its ability to deter NATO aircraft and shape the battlespace. For India, the system addresses long-standing vulnerabilities exposed during the 1999 Kargil war with Pakistan, when high-altitude air defenses were inadequate. The S-400's deployment along the line of actual control also responds to China's growing air capabilities, including its J-20 stealth fighters and H-6 bombers. By contrast, Pakistan's air defenses, reliant on Chinese HQ-9 systems and older US-supplied AIM-120 missiles, are less capable of countering India's modernized air force, which includes French Rafale jets and Russian Su-30 Mk-1s. The geopolitical dynamics of South Asia add layers of complexity to the S-400 speculation. India and Pakistan, nuclear-armed neighbors with a history of conflict over Kashmir, have engaged in an arms race fueled by external suppliers. India, the world's second-largest arms importer after Ukraine, relies on Russia for 36% of its arms, though this share has declined from 55% a decade ago as New Delhi diversifies toward Western suppliers like France and the United States. Pakistan, meanwhile, has deepened its dependence on China, which has supplied frigates, submarines, and combat aircraft, strengthening Islamabad's coastal and air defenses. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, a $62 billion infrastructure project, further cements their alliance, raising concerns in India about a potential two-front threat from China and Pakistan. China's role in this equation is pivotal. As a major arms exporter, ranking fourth globally behind the United States, France, and Russia, China has expanded its influence in South Asia. However, its own S-400 systems, delivered between 2018 and 2020, are subject to strict Russian export controls. Russia, wary of technology leaks, imposes contractual clauses prohibiting the transfer of sensitive information to third parties. Violating these terms could jeopardize China's access to Russian arms, including advanced engines and helicopters, which remain critical despite China's growing self-reliance. Moreover, China's relationship with Russia has strengthened since the Ukraine conflict began in 2022, with bilateral trade reaching $240 billion in 2024. Risking this partnership to aid Pakistan with S-400 data seems unlikely, especially given the potential diplomatic fallout. Russia's perspective is equally critical. Despite delays in S-400 deliveries to India, caused by supply chain disruptions and the prioritization of its Ukraine campaign, Moscow remains committed to its defense ties with New Delhi. Russia has offered India advanced weaponry, such as the R-37M air-to-air missile, capable of engaging targets up to 400 kilometers away, signaling its intent to maintain India as a key market. However, Russia's arms exports have plummeted by 47% since 2022, partly due to reduced orders from India and China, which has developed its own weapons industry. Supplying Pakistan with S-400 systems or related data would be a strategic misstep, as Russia has explicitly avoided arming both India and Pakistan with identical systems to prevent escalation. When Pakistan sought Russia's S-350 system after being denied the S-400, Moscow declined, citing its commitment to regional stability. The India-China relationship adds another layer of restraint. Despite the 2020 Ladakh border clash, which killed 20 Indian and 4 Chinese soldiers, both nations have pursued their escalation through diplomatic channels. Bilateral trade reached $136 billion in 2024, with India importing electronics and machinery from China while exporting raw materials. Provocative actions, such as sharing S-400 data, could reignite tensions along the 3,488-kilometer border, where China has deployed its own air defenses, including HQ-9 and S-300 systems. For China, maintaining a delicate balance with India serves its broader interests, particularly as it navigates global scrutiny over its role in the Ukraine conflict and trade disputes with the West. Posts on social media platforms like X have speculated that Pakistan's PL-15 missiles, with a range of over 200 kilometers, could counter India's Rafale jets, though these claims lack verification. Pakistan's pursuit of Chinese hypersonic technology, such as the DF-17 missile, reflects its urgency to offset India's advantages. The DF-17, a medium-range ballistic missile equipped with a hypersonic glide vehicle, can travel at speeds exceeding Mach 5 and maneuver to evade defenses. While unconfirmed reports suggest China might supply these to Pakistan, such a move would escalate regional tensions and draw international condemnation. What if China did share S-400 data with Pakistan? The consequences would be far-reaching but not necessarily decisive. For Pakistan, access to radar frequencies or engagement protocols could inform the development of electronic countermeasures or precision-guided munitions. For India, the breach would deepen mistrust toward China, potentially accelerating its pivot to Western arms suppliers. Since 2020, India has signed deals for U.S. Predator drones, French Rafale jets, and Israeli missile systems, reflecting a strategic shift. For Russia, the fallout would be severe, potentially halting future S-400 exports and straining its alliance with China. The likelihood of China sharing S-400 data remains low for several reasons. First, the technical complexity of the system means that even China may not have full access to its proprietary software or missile guidance algorithms, which Russia guards closely. Second, China's strategic calculus prioritizes long-term stability over short-term gains for Pakistan. Escalating tensions with India could disrupt trade, provoke U.S. sanctions, or embolden other regional rivals, such as Japan or Vietnam. Third, China can support Pakistan through less provocative means, such as expanding exports of J-10C fighters or Wing-Lung drones, which have already enhanced Pakistan's capabilities without violating international agreements. The speculation surrounding the S-400 underscores a deeper truth. South Asia's security landscape is shaped by a delicate balance of power, where technological superiority is only one piece of the puzzle. India's S-400 deployment, while formidable, does not guarantee invulnerability, just as Pakistan's reliance on Chinese arms does not ensure parity. The region's history, from the 1947 partition to the 1971 Bangladesh Liberation War, shows that military escalation often yields diminishing returns. Diplomacy, as seen in recent India-China border talks, offers a less costly path to stability. Yet, the absence of concrete evidence for the S-400 data sharing scenario suggests that speculation may outpace reality. As global powers like the United States and Russia watch closely, the question lingers: can South Asia's rivals prioritize restraint over rivalry, or will the pursuit of strategic advantage tip the region toward conflict?